Huge arse.
Huge arse.
Huge arse.
Huge ass.
Huge arse. Huge arse.
Huge ass.
Huge arse.
I love you, Hugh.
Greetings and salutations, this is Huge Arse. Having a bit of fun this afternoon playing around with the live streams, trying to get that to work. I'd love to do a live stream sometime soon and get you all to participate in the chat, and we'll go through a few things. It'll be fun to do, I think, and I'm looking forward to doing that. I had a lot of fun on Irish Demons live stream this afternoon. You should subscribe to him. He's an awesome content provider. He and Crafty Keeler and myself all started around the same time, and we're the rat pack of the debunkers at the moment. Well, maybe I'm not, but they are, that's for sure. The Irish pack at the very least. So this afternoon I did a little live stream, and I was able to film the moon. Not far off Moonset, but it was still there. And I also filmed some stars. And what I was doing is I was testing my phone's camera for its ability to do the Great Observation in the Southern Hemisphere, or GOSH observation. Check my video on that, link in the description. And what I found, I have an iPhone 10. I found that at sunset, it was able to pick up some stars. And during that live stream, I said that I would try again later to see if I could, when it was darker, see if I could see the Southern Cross with the phone. The result of that one was a failure. I could not see the Southern Cross with my phone. And I suspect the reason was that at sunset, there's more light, so therefore the camera was better to figure out and resolute a picture. But later, when it was astronomical darkness, or as much as we can get this close to a major city, there wasn't enough light for the camera to pick up, so we couldn't see the stars at all. So that's a bit of a bummer, because it says that an iPhone 10 at least is not suitable for the GOSH observation. So it has a resolution of 12 megapixels, and I believe the Galaxy phones have the same, although the new Galaxy S11 apparently has 108, which seems a big jump. So if you're interested in participating in the GOSH observation, and particularly if you're in South America, I'd love to hear from you. Email me on hugearse1@gmail.com and tell me that you're available. It's a little under 3 weeks away now. We're hoping to start on June the 14th. So if you're South America, South Africa, or Southern Western Australia, let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and the more people we can get to do this experiment, the better. That makes it more irrefutable. Anyway, so doing the live stream where I filmed the moon got me thinking. There's a difference between observing the moon in the Northern Hemisphere and observing it in the Southern Hemisphere. Obviously, I'm in the Southern Hemisphere. And when I filmed the moon, I was facing north, and the moon's orientation, it was a thin crescent. It was, well, from my perspective, it was facing towards the left, meaning the shadow was on the right. Rude Earther released a video last night, so only 1 day away from me, and he filmed the moon as well, and he's in the Northern Hemisphere, and he showed the moon. It was facing the other orientation. I thought it'd be interesting to have a look at them side by side, and here we go with it now. So I think this is something that flat earthers have to explain. Why are there different orientations in the Southern and Northern Hemisphere? Also, in this video, Rude Earther captured a very rare phenomenon. I think they're called Noctilucent clouds. What's happening is the sun is refracting off some ice crystals in the upper atmosphere and giving you basically a second look at the sunset. It's quite fascinating, and it's not unprecedented. I found this article in Nature magazine, which describes pretty much the same thing. This is from November 1883, would you believe? I'll read some of the article, but remember what Rude Earther is observing is about half an hour after the sun actually set, and he's at a high northern latitude. The article says, the sky was nearly clear when the sun set at 4:18 and the air transparent. A few cirrocumulus fleeces became lighted up with a pink and then with a deep red colour immediately after sunset. A very peculiar greenish and white opalescent haze now appeared about the point of the sun's departure, and shone as if it, with a light of its own near the horizon. The upper part of this pearly mist, they're quite colourful in their language, aren't they? Soon assumed a pink colour, while the lower part was white, green and greenish yellow. About 4:35, so that's about 20 minutes after sunset, the sky from near the horizon towards the zenith had begun to turn to a brilliant but delicate pink, and some pink cirrus-like streaks stretched apparently horizontally towards the southeast. The coloured portion of the sky spread out like a sheet from the horizon and apparently consisted of a very high, thin, filmy cirrus disposed in transverse bands or ripples close together, and very delicate in form, outline, and tint. Below the pink and between it and the point where the sun had set remained the very Curions, opalescent, shining green and white vapour, hanging as it were, vertically and changing very little during many minutes. The borders of the pink sheaf were definite and finely contrasted with the deep blue sky. As darkness came on, the pink glows seemed to increase in brightness, and at 5 o'clock, so that's 45 minutes later, it cast a fine weird light over the hills. The moon was now bright in the southeast and began to cast dark shadows. About 5, the colour slowly receded from the part nearest the zenith towards the horizon, and as it retired, left a clearly visible filmy ripple of cirrus of a faint grey tint. So that's pretty much what Rudolph saw. He saw the sun just sort of fizzle out into the cloud. I'll leave a link to that article in the description as well. Quite fascinating, and good on Rudolph for getting out there and actually filming things like this. That's about all I have for you this time. See you around the carousel.